what's going on. Why isn't this, why isn't Twilight an alicorn? Why is God being a bad guy? I can sort of see what you mean. It's easy enough to say, "Oh, just do what you want," but it's whether or not other people,
Demand
are going to see the same way.
People are going to be too stupid to realize to read the description, like say, "Oh, this takes place in an alternate timeline that split
People
off
don't read the
during
summaries
season
at all.
2."
Oh,
People don't read descriptions.
I found that as well. Like people will
Yeah,
read, will
even
read,
I
people will
thought people
read
would read smart enough.
You
people
could
will
put a
read
big
sequels and they won't even realise it's a sequel. Like they won't look at the fact that it says this is a sequel to such and such fic in the
Yeah.
description.
They don't
You
read
could put a
the-
big old
I
sign.
don't get
No,
that.
you could put up a big old sign in front of one of those exact people
And
that
they wouldn't
says
hit them on the
this
head.
is
Even hit them on
this,
the head with
and
it.
they would
Yeah.
turn and they would bat an eye in an instant
Yeah.
and completely ignore it.
It's like when I did
Well,
a parody.
even if you hit a hammer over the head with it, they wouldn't notice.
It's
That's
like
my
I-
experience.
I
I thought
did
this
a
was
fan-
only on YouTube videos.
I
you
did
know?
a fanfic about sort of parodying the whole Alicorn Twilight freak out and things like that. And I had a big thing in the box saying this is a satire, and I still would get comments from people say well, it's on fanfishing.net as well, saying, "Oh, why are you hating on Twilight one?" It's like, have you actually read my fic?
You
Have
know
read
what?
the
Just put the
description?
damn description.
Yeah.
Just put the damn description on the main first chapter. People don't read the description.
Yeah.
No, because they won't even read the chapter. They won't even read. They'll just look at the
So basically,
title.
what you're saying is,
Then put
What
it in
you're
the
saying
bloody
is
title.
basically every-
Make them read a long title.
What I did when I write a fic, I just throw in every single idea I had. I throw in the canon, the Fanon, the head Fanon canon thing. Reason.
Anyways,
everyone loved it. It was like, what?
Anyway, mind if
basically
I...
what you're saying is just about every reader on fanfiction is a pillock.
Yes.
To a
Pillock.
degree. Anyway,
Sam?
back to the...
Sam, you said you lost confidence, you lost the inspiration for your writing because you were expecting a backlash because it went against canon. What you
Pretty
have to
much.
realize, what you have to
I know,
realize
I've
is
heard
that
the
your idea still exists.
Yeah,
They cannot
Oh,
take
yeah,
it
yeah,
away.
you can't just bat an eye the moment somebody fuck.
Well, I've already heard this this lesson and advice from other people that I talked with on fanfiction. But even still, every time that new episode, a new story, stories are contradicted, people just seem to abandon those concepts forever on. They become lost. Take season 1 Luna, for instance.
They
Anyone here that was back
basically
back in 2011? That knows of her personality.
they just had
not
they just had no confidence in their work. We need to notice that when we have these ideas and we put them on paper, we're writing these fan fictions, so we can have fun and so we can
stand
better
the
ourselves
time.
as writers.
Yeah.
and to stand the test of time, And when people
Yeah.
just go retcon it just for the sake of canon, just disgruntles me. If other people are doing that, even the big shot writers, what's the point of writing?
What's the
No,
point of
we're gonna watch it.
fanfiction?
Fan fiction, I
Even-
swear to
I
God,
tried
hardly
pointing this out, but-
any criticism exists on fanfiction.net. You can write a bullshit story, and people will like it.
Adore, flock to it.
My
Fan-
little flair, friendship is epic.
Fanfiction is decentralized. It's not exactly, it's not exactly centralized. On fanfiction, things seem to be directed at groups, where the hub to correlate and collaborate. Everyone knows where to go.
At
On fanfiction,
fanfiction.net,
however, everything's just spread out. Fanfiction is more like a scattering of town, where fanfiction is a concentrated city.
because the quality of stories on fanfiction.net have actually gone down since
But isn't it
2011, 2010. Back in
But isn't-
2006 or some, fanfiction.net he used to have really good stories, but now they just don't. Fanfiction actually has the better quality stuff.
But don't
That's why I
most
don't go
people because I publish mine on both sites, and I think a lot of people do that. Is that not just that I can't see someone publishing it on fan fiction and then not putting it on film fiction? Like I don't know.
I don't
Surely it
really
would be the
bother
same
with
fix.
fanfiction.net. I put my fan fiction on. I pretty much put my stories basically on FimFiction exclusively. I don't even bother with fanfiction.net.
Okay,
Well,
when
I mean,
I,
I've
The
got
audience
one.
there is just too small to be relevant.
Well, I don't know. I mean, I've got one story on fanfiction that's got I think like 57 followers on fanfiction. So I don't know. I guess it was worth me putting that on there. But I can tell. Yeah,
But
it's
how many
definitely
reviews
smaller.
did you get?
I would get
38, I think it was.
I would get like
68, impressive.
4 reviews
No,
on
sorry,
one chapter.
38, not 68.
Like all I would get is like, oh my god, your writing's amazing, like your storytelling's amazing, da 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 da, and I would just think to myself like, I just bullshitted this. I just BS this to the best of my ability, and you like it.
My
Yeah.
only featured story, I pulled out of my ass and it got featured here. I
Yeah.
didn't understand why people liked it so much.
Yeah,
I even brought it up.
the only story
People
I
will like
I
anything.
bring that up all the
The author
time.
may think it's shit, Barrow, but the rest of the populace will think it's brilliance. I mean,
Yeah,
talk about Beethoven. Fanon, for example. He thought it was just some general, thing that he made in his spare time, not his grand opus. When referring to Beethoven, people, what's the first thing that you think of when thinking of Beethoven?
He's
Is it
deaf.
Fanon?
He's
The film with
deaf.
the
He
dog.
played good music. The
created
Ode
good
to
music.
Joy was amazing.
Yeah, the Ode to Joy.
And for Alice, does anyone know that song?
No.
No.
I don't think so.
Not for Alice? You don't?
No.
No.
Then,
Very vague.
Then let me get the loot. Hold on.
I see what you mean. Like people will just think that what you think is the worst stuff. You mean? I mean, the one fic that I've got that has 100% likes and zero dislikes is like I don't even like it. Like I stopped writing it and cancelled it because I disliked it so much. And it's the only fic that I have with 100% likes. Like, and I don't even
How
like
many
it.
likes?
It's only 13, but still, it's like no dislikes.
That's the song that I'm referencing.
Yeah, on my
That's the for Alice.
yeah, on my story, Biker Princess from Requester, I currently have like 71 likes, 7 dislikes, and 109 favorites.
That's
With
pretty
my
good.
with my story, Mind Over Matter, I have 39 likes, 8 dislikes, 307 views, 46 comments. That's including my own. And 48 favorites.
Then my story. Alright,
I
you can go
have I have 587 views and 22 comments on my fic so far. Yeah.
I have 453 likes and 77 dislikes and 385 comments on my one story, and it is absolute shit.
Oh my god.
Oh,
It's
indeed.
about
What is
me
it?
and
What's
a
it- what's
talking slinky arriving at Equestria by falling from the sky. Thank you,
I
thank
told
you.
you
Brilliant!
that.
That is utter brilliance, I tell ya! Let me
It's
tell you,
amazing.
for they shall
Really
burn
funny.
in eternity of a Taurus!
And what's annoying is
Invading-
the fic that I'm working on that I've actually put the most effort, the most thought into when creating the world has like the least amount of favourites of all of my fics. And like
Oh my
Yeah,
god.
I noticed that trend.
Why
People
is
don't
it that when
think-
you BS something, it turns
It
out
gets-
great? It gets like a freaking like crap ton of likes, hardly
But
next
when you
to no
try to put thought and
dislikes,
effort
so many
into it-
favorites, and then when you actually work hard at something, people
It
just
doesn't
hate
gain
it.
views.
Yeah, it doesn't gain views. People hate it.
That's an odd paradox, some way. Well, actually, not with me.
Hey,
You know that Apple Fire story that guys linked to you about
User
the last...
disconnected from your channel.
You know
Someone
that Apple
disconnected.
Fire story that I linked you guys in the past?
No, not really.
Apple Fire, Apple Dash, and Applejack and Spitfire.
Oh yeah,
Applejack-
that
Applejack
shipping.
is-
Oh my god, I hate those shippings.
I have shipped Applejack and Spitfire together. That's where actually...
Oh god, I hope.
Last I checked...
I just don't like the shipping. A lot of the shippings. It's like it either doesn't make sense or it just creeps me the hell out.
Delta, let me tell you something. There's joy in fiction. Everything and everyone there's a possibility and a multiverse for. Somehow, one way or another, it happens. It's fiction for a reason.
Well,
I mean,
people can have
life,
it. They can have it. I'm just not going to pay attention to it. Unless the story's actually really freaking good that I can overlook that.
Indeed. I mean, hell, people have shipped the kitchen sink with Rainbow Dash. The kitchen sink. I've even seen a story where it shipped her with, God help me, come. I shit you not. Somebody actually wrote a story about that. Somebody wrote a story shipping Rainbow Dash with cum. I shit you not.
They need a hug. They need a hug and a trophy.
Okay,
I shit you not.
No, but speaking of overlooking, like, crap...
User entered your channel.
Speaking of overlooking things in overlooking things in a fiction, when people use a lot of the tropes, normally what keeps me reading those stories, some of those kinds of stories, is that it's either written very, very well that I can overlook the emo baggage, the emotional baggage of the character that they put in, all those other tropes. It would have to be written so well, the plot would have to be thought out so well that I could just overlook it.
The regular old rule of illusion. I think the critic actually did something similar on an episode on this recently on his website.
Nostalgia Critic? Yeah, he's done that.
Basically, is it wrong to nitpick too much?
Yes.
And it shows similar precedents over here.
It's not bad to nitpick. I mean, nitpicking is what makes reviewing things fun.
Yeah, I mean, otherwise the Nostalgia Critic and the Angry Video Game Nerd wouldn't exist. I mean, it's entertainment as all hell.
Yeah. And there's nothing wrong with it.
Well, I think, wasn't it the point you made that, like, everything's flawed? It's
yes.
how good it is at covering up the flaws, and if there's nothing wowing you, then you're going to see the flaws much more clearly.
Yes.
You know,
that's exactly. That's exactly what I'm trying to do here. I'm trying to take what the Nostalgia Critic said and apply it here to fan fictions, because to books, to anything, you could take that concept, you could take that logic and apply it to everything. If something is good enough to keep you interested, wow you, is able to distract you from all the bad stuff, all the flaws, then the story is doing something right.
Indeed. A movie, for example, is just, the special effects are there to keep you from looking at the flaws. Overall,
Michael Bay, I'm looking at you.
Has its flaws.
But there are a lot of stories that people get lost in that one good thing that they like so much.
Yeah.
They're willing to overlook everything else. But the problem is,
even not even notice it at all.
Some people don't like that one thing that's really good.
Yeah.
And a lot of times the author has this thing about that. They like one idea of their story that they just like so much, they build everything around it. Some people hate it, and then they don't understand why it's disliked. It's because we like the idea that you like, but everything built around it is unstable.
Basically, no foundations. Foundations are built out of...
There's nothing to support it. There's no substance, no material. It's just basically empty.
Or barely. The foundations might as well be literal toothpicks that you can just set on fire. And once that happens... it's like toothpicks. Imagine this. Imagine this for you, Will. The foundations are supporting a very, very fat Pinkie Pie. And that Pinkie Pie is being supported by her toothpick legs. They can shut her at any moment. Any opponent could just kick her in the legs, shut her these toothpicks, and voila, it all just comes collapsing down. And all we hear
Goodbye, the cake family.
Pinkie Pie dies.
No.
Pinkie Pie dies because someone didn't build her legs properly.
And that's the same with the story.
Yeah,
You
because they make the
cannot
body
have
too
a
big.
Pinkie Pie supported by toothpick legs.
Because because everyone built everything around the body, and they didn't build anything around the support that hold it up. So it just came crumbling down.
And in case of Pinkie Pie, she died in a magnificent confetti. What was that?
Can we just say her legs broke and she had a seizure finally?
One of the clones emerged from the lake and created a large batch of cupcakes
But
from
there
the
are a lot
remaining
of ideas
gore
like this. There are a
and
lot
sold
of
it to the orphanage.
Barrow's saying something.
There are a lot of stories like this. I mean, you can name them. What are a few ideas? What are a few stories that have great ideas but aren't done properly near enough? Halo crossovers.
Yes.
A lot of crossovers.
Yes.
Halo and ponies are both awesome, right?
Yes.
No.
But for me, Halo and ponies don't mix because you have something extremely dark as opposed to something that is a little more upbeat with some dark aspects.
Then what about Below Question? It can't be
Same thing.
It's not his preference.
And
He
then
just doesn't like it.
And then there's all these crossovers with Warhammer 40k, which is probably the grimmest, darkest thing in existence.
Send me their souls!
So the idea is, I believe that any crossover, any idea can work if you put enough. Personally, I don't read. Yeah, you don't read those crossovers. It's no problem. My idea for a Halo crossover involved Faust being a forerunner and downloading essentially all the episodes of the show onto a disc or a forerunner data crystal, and it gets lost to time, eventually
User
recovered.
entered your channel.
That's my idea to cross over. A UNSC captain finds the crystal, believes in this other world so powerfully that he thinks it can change all of humanity, even the course of the war, but really, TV show.
Yeah.
And then there's,
that would be so disappointing.
Then there are those crossovers where the idea is sound, but there's just no one doing it, like Exalted crossovers, because I've only seen like...
Let's look at the Star Trek crossovers. Star Trek isn't particularly a dark in tone show. It's actually pretty stable, pretty flat. Yeah, it's actually pretty upbeat. It has good comedy moments. It has a lot of things that keep the tone relatively bright, relatively upbeat. And though I have seen crossovers with between Star Trek and ponies, but I haven't seen them work to the fullest extent.
Yeah, and that's Captain Picard is always seen as like the most optimistic person in all of science fiction. And he's rightfully so.
He's charismatic.
I mean constantly,
my dad.
Yeah, he's always tested by Q, who is essentially the proto-Discord.
That is hilarious.
And the fact that Q is the guy who voiced Q also voiced Discord makes it well.
Yeah, John Delancey. It's John Delancey.
No.
In fact, he actually...
Let's see, what's the...
User left your channel.
crossover that I haven't seen a lot of people do.
What?
I'm trying to think of another crossover that... Oh, I found one. No one's done a Zoids crossover.
How many of you here... Question. How many of you here played MapleStory or still play it?
I have.
A while ago.
What the hell is a MapleStory?
At one point I did.
I've heard of it, but not...
It's an MMORPG, free to play. I was going to do a crossover with MapleStory. Well, I had it up there for like a short time, then I removed it because when I looked at everything I was trying to build up, when I looked at everything I had, or already had, it just wasn't going to work. I had to scrap it and think of a better way to tell the story. Basically, the whole premise was that Luminous and Phantom, two main heroes of the storyline, they were in a small chamber where Professor Gellimer, basically, just to sum him up, he's a mixture between Dr. Wily and Dr. Eggman, tenfold. He basically he took the body of the brother of Orchid, the head of the Black Wings, and he was able to wipe out his conscience and take control of him. Now, the power that Lotus had is that he was able to separate his spirit from his body and control other people. And this is what he eventually used it against Orchid.
User entered your channel.
Used his own power against Orchid to defeat. So basically now the Orchid's twin brother, Lotus, had just basically nearly killed her. What I had happen was that Luminous and Phantom jump in, help her, or try and get her to safety. Luminous fights him back. Phantom doesn't want to leave his friend behind. So what ends up happening is that they're about to die, but what ends up happening is that they get teleported to Equestria. And that's where shit starts to go down. Then
You know, I had a weird idea for a story once where Rainbow Dash had a Sega Genesis and she ended up getting sucked into the original Sonic the Hedgehog, and the only way she could get out is to complete the game.
Okay, it's not that I hate those crossovers. It's just they're so overdone. They're overdone, and it's the same concept. It is the same concept of the same overused crossover. It is the I feel like I'm reading the same story or about to read the same story.
Talking about when it's a Sonic the Hedgehog crossover?
Yes.
If I see one more Sonic the Hedgehog crossover, it'll be too soon.
Alright, well,
I've seen one so wretched.
Don't
Oh, go on.
Don't get angry at this. I actually haven't read any Sonic crossovers. I actually absolutely love the idea, but I was debating on starting one. But before doing that, I was gonna pick up the old Sonic comics.
Yeah.
But
I remember there was a really good series. I can't remember what the trilogy is called, but it was made by Twilight Snarkle. The original was called Order from Chaos, and it was basically like Eggman, after being disillusioned at the fact that he had won over his conquest of the world, decided to retire to Equestria.
You said Order from Chaos. It sounds like a Yu-Gi-Oh pack. It sounds like it's a reference to a Yu-Gi-Oh pack, Order of Chaos.
It does.
Yeah.
I said Order
Chaos
from
consume
Chaos.
me!
I know, but it sounds like it's trying to reference Order of Chaos, which is a Yu-Gi-Oh pack.
Swords of Revealing Light!
Chaos consume thee!
Wind up. Okay, so I'm going to summon Wind Up Rat, Wind Up Shark, and then I'm going to summon Wind Up Magician, Shark, and then I'm going to use my Wind Up Loop and make you lose your entire hand, and you're dead.
Pretty much the gist of it. But yeah, the crossover's basic idea was that Eggman had retired to Equestria after basically winning his battle against Sonic, and he ultimately became changed to be a better person.
That's kind of lame.
Because it started affecting him in weird ways.
You know what?
Like,
You want to know something? Okay, you know what would be a good concept? You could take a concept like Megamind, like what it
I'm liking where this kid is going with that.
Oh,
Yeah, let's go all kinds of places. All kinds of places. Well,
maybe he's in the southeast like I am. We're kind of having terrible weather.
Yeah, we are having horrible weather.
Oh, did he just come back? Guess not. Well, if no one else has a topic, I'll link to a story. Have any of you actually read it?
No, I actually didn't notice the link at all now. Is that
let
yours,
me have a
Bearded?
little look.
Oh, this isn't my story. It was a story that hit the front pages like couple of weeks ago, I believe. It's kind of like, I suppose, a Mega Man
Sorry,
crossover,
I
but
had to do something real quick. As I was about to say, you could take a concept like Mega Man
yeah, there you go.
and like try to put that idea into the world of ponies. Like, what would happen if the villain had no hero to fight? Like, basically, let's say, like, you come up with your own villain that had a previous encounter with the main, or that had an encounter with the princesses before, and was defeated by them, and now their villain's newest threat is the main six. Like, his newest threat is the main six, but he's still trying to overthrow or take down both Celestia and Luna.
So every villain in My Little Pony.
So basically you have this villain which eventually succeeds in taking over Equestria, doesn't necessarily kill Luna and Celestia, but more like imprisons them and defeats the main six. Basically, like, just beats them, like, badly. And then eventually just gets to the point, well, I won, there's nothing else for me to do, what do I do?
That could be a nice little AU if you use Discord. You could do a sort of a Megamind thing with Discord as the main character.
Or even like Nightmare Moon, if she like takes over and the night lasts forever, and then she kind of gets bored of making the night last forever.
Yeah.
It's the whole thing
then
with
reality ensues where the world just freezes.
Yeah, it just...
You can actually get comedy of it, like you're just sitting in the throne room one evening and it's like, look at me, it's cold in here.
Nightmare Moon, ha.
Like she doesn't realize how cold it is.
There's actually somebody actually did a couple of fanfictions, or there's even a video on that. Not video, a comic, I mean.
You have a better chance with a silly story being liked rather than a serious one, honestly.
What?
No doubt.
What?
A silly story about 2,000 words.
A comedy story is easy and quick to digest, quickly can be read, whereas a long story takes more time to warm up to, such as Follow Equestria, for example. I mean, normally, if Follow Equestria were posted right now, it would still get, I believe, well, some likes, but at the time when it was posted, the Brony fandom was still in its infancy, so to speak of. It was first done in 2011, wasn't it not?
It was done.
It was late 2011, from what I've seen. I didn't actually see it start to surface till mid 2012.
And it was completed within a year.
April 2011 to Christmas of that year.
Well, I actually didn't see more of the fandom start to surface till 2012. Well, actually, I knew that they existed, but I didn't see stuff to actually surface until, like, I didn't see stuff...
The Brony fandom started expanding in 2012 era.
Yeah, it started to expand more in 2012, and then I actually didn't start getting more into the fandom or start delving into it until 2013. And you could call me a late bloomer because I didn't become a Brony until April.
So you're one of the late bloomers.
I'm a 4-month-old
Back when the
Brony.
fandom actually began expanding, coming out of the shell, so to speak, out of the undercover phase of the fandom.
Out of the underground, the ponies moved to the surface.
Out of undercover phase and into open phase. Show our true colors to the world.
It just started with the freaking mobs. And speaking of which, I've asked this question last night. Have any of you heard of a comic called Japalak's Sorrow?
Yes, I have.
Have you read the comic?
No, I haven't.
It's a really good comic. You could also find it on YouTube. Just look it up. It's a really good comic.
What was it called again?
Jabal Axe Sorrow. It's a really good comic.
The YouTube shit stuff?
Huh?
Oh, no, never mind.
It just suddenly went silent.
Another awkward silence.
Hey, wait a minute.
Oh, I think that's most of the people
Actually-
are looking at the YouTube thing.
Oh.
I'm doing.
Oh yeah, it's based on the Jackalab Tumblr.
Yeah.
I
Just
actually
watching
completed
from
that.
the
It was
beginning
actually
one
not that
and
bad.
to the all the way to the end. They're like, I think altogether the whole thing's like 20, 25 minutes. The whole
really?
thing to get all together.
Damn, that's impressive.
But like
Anyway,
each
there's a
individual
link.
part, or maybe 20 minutes. I don't know. I could be wrong. But like each video starts out from like 20 to like 10 to 20 seconds a clip, and then like it starts going into like a minute, 2 minutes, then back to like 50 seconds, 40 seconds, and then like to 4 minutes, 6 minutes, 8 minutes, which is actually towards the very end of the comic for each clip on YouTube. But if you want to look up the actual comic yourself, I wouldn't know where to look. I think you would have to look on DeviantArt or something.
Yeah, that person's Tumblr.
Yeah.
Oh, alright, goes by chapters and episodes.
Yeah.
Quite a bit. Let's have to favorite this or favorite it for later.
Alright.
Anyway, what do you... Wait.
What?
I wonder if I should bring that topic up again. Kind of derail the conversation.
Okay, just bring it up.
Do it, bro.
Yeah. I
Huh?
fear of being redundant.
Do it.
Go for
Just
it, I
do
wasn't here
it.
for it.
Oh well. Back to the Canon versus Fanon debates. Everybody still remember that, or have you just suddenly gone OCD? Well, ADD, I mean, suddenly forgot that thing, because you looked at a shiny rock that you weren't supposed to. Did you look at
I
the
remember the conversation. I was there. I was there.
Yes. You were there, Barrow, when nobody else was. Except for maybe...
I love you, Sam.
What?
Not.
What?
Yes, I was there. Let's go on.
Anyway, as I was saying with the Canon versus Fan debate, back to where were we? Back to the part where I said my passion for writing these stories was pretty much destroyed because the plots have been since what's that word? That invalidated by Canon.
Well, just because it's invalidated by Canon does not discredit your idea. It's still your idea.
But it seems that But here's the thing. I never saw a trend in fandom. Wherever Canon goes, most of the fandom seems to follow, whether other people like it or not. For example,
My problem with people abandoning their original concept or idea
and Fanon,
in Fanon is it angers me. It's like you had this
It's
great
conformity.
idea, and because
it just feels like a betrayal, you know? It feels like
yeah.
they're betraying what I read. You know, anyone here, Brony, during the 2011 era?
Nope.
What?
Wait, what'd you
Sorry,
say?
no.
I was.
Are there any Bronies here from the 2011 year?
I was. I am.
I think I'm
Me.
2012.
I'm 2013. We all know this.
I think I'm
established that.
2011.
Me too.
Well, do any of you know about the Season 1 Luna, on before the Luna Eclipse episode came up?
Yeah.
She was
What,
sort of
Gamer
like
Luna?
someone who was biding her time, trying to get power away from Celestia and form the new Lunar Republic.
There were multiple
I remember
versions
all
of
that.
her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It depends on your version. From what I've seen from the fandom during the 2011 year, there were different interpretations of Luna. Some depicted her as a shy, reclusive, timid, but cute and adorable individual who had an equal stature to her ponies. Others depicted her as a plotting schemer that wished to overthrow Celestia. And for whatever reason, just because of her two lines of dialogue alone, just 2 lines of dialogue, and the fandom gave her a personality. Many different variations, diversity. The beauty of it was what attracted me to the character in the first place. And that's why Luna was once one of my favorite characters in the fandom. However, as soon as a Luna Eclipse episode came up, all of that, and I do mean all of that, just vanished. Vanished into thin air. Disappeared. As if it never existed.
Well, things
Nobody
like
was
progress and all that, they were not retroactively changed.
I can
Although
understand why
Hiatus
you'd
is
be.
a pretty good story.
I can understand why you'd be pissed off with that. I think that was because that was when
I know.
The fandom mostly, grew in the 2012 era. So the majority of bronies probably wouldn't have even been around during the time that these fics came about.
Yeah.
So it's not really. There's going to be a small percentage that are going to remember those times, and then the other people are just going to be confused and not get why Luna's been put in this way. So yeah, I can understand why you'd be annoyed.
Yeah, but I know. Canon's canon, you can't override it. Anyone that does will be impaled on a stake. As per protocol procedure,
I
3,
think
2, 1.
is it worth in introducing a system where you put on each of your fics which season you're adhering canon to? Because I know most people tend to do canon from the end of season 2 onwards, or
even with the Princess Cadence and here's this thing with the Princess Cadence and the Shining Armor figure. I mean, get me wrong, I actually like season 2 doing that. I actually like the additions of Princess Cadence and Shining Armor. What I don't like is that most of the fandom has pretty much made that the standard norm. Any deviance, such as anything else, is not accepted.
Yeah,
my biggest gripe.
Hell, I've actually seen depictions of giving the Twilight a sibling before Shining Armor, such as a sister or brother.
My biggest gripe when it comes to people portraying Luna now is that, okay, when season 2 came around, Luna Eclipse was season 2, correct? If I remember.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Yep.
When that episode came around, people still give her that original Canterlot dialect, which it kind of peeved me because they've already established that she's now more integrated with modern society.
Yeah.
But
in my
still, that's the
opinion,
characteristic
she
trait.
only uses the Luna only uses the Royal Canterlot voice if she really gets angry or excited.
Yeah, that's in the show, but you can drive off your own depictions. That's one thing I like about this fandom. You can drive off your own depictions.
Yeah,
and
nothing
Luna's
wrong with
archaic speaking style it's actually a bit charming, Even if it is archaic, it's something charming, a stickler to old traditions, such as wanting to preserve that. I wouldn't mind preserving that type of talk. It's kind of interesting, if you ask me. Even if you, try to integrate it and actually study the language,
I like Gamer.
Actually makes Same here. And
What?
some people wish she just... And
Wait,
some
like
people
who?
just wish that she burned and that she was never born. And
Who?
some people... There are some magnons that I conversed with on Pony-chan.
Wait, who wishes that who wasn't, like...
Well, that Gamer Luna was never born, so to speak. Never existed.
What's wrong with Gamer Luna?
Some people just don't like her playing video games.
So they mean... Oh, wait. So they mean no fun.
Even in stories, it's just artwork.
Stories and artwork. Anyway, as I was saying, back to the topic of Fanon vs. Canon. Anyone still interested in continuing that discussion?
I have
Darn it, hang on a second.
Well, I mean,
That's the whole reason why I started recording. That's the whole reason why.
Oh yeah.
Sam, ultimately, ideas still exist even if they deviate from canon, and fuck what other people think, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just that that fear is still there. That I can't help but get the feeling that someone.
What you're saying is you're unhappy that the fandom isn't as open as it was before. We're more apt to reject new ideas that are deviation, even small deviations, than we are willing to embrace them being new and possibly overlooked concepts.
Yeah, that's what I liked about season 1, Luna. I mean, she was original. Basically,
There's
by
more
the fandom,
people.
the community.
The community has grown since then. It's become larger. It's become like America. It's fat. It's bloated. It's full. It's crazy, and it's scared of itself at the same time. And it's looking for something to take out its anger on.
I never heard that comparison before. Well, that comparison, I actually never heard it before. It's actually quite, how do I put this? Actually quite...
Be right back, I gotta go eat.
Biased.
No, it's actually quite comedic.
I know. I compare a lot of things to America, including my own guild in Star Wars: The Old Republic.
America!
We're large.
Yeah.
We're everywhere. We have our nose in a lot of things that we really shouldn't be.
Yo, NSA.
A lot of people disagree with it.
What do you expect? We're the big bully on the block.
I love America. I don't care if someone dislikes my opinion of it.
But
this fandom is a lot like America. Part of it is insane.
A lot
We're all
of it is insane.
here.
A lot of
Otherwise
it
we
is
won't be
insane.
here.
We watch a little girl's show about technicolor ponies. We are all insane.
We all belong in asylum!
And damn proud of it.
Yep.
Yes, there are even the special forces soldiers who watch it, for God's sake.
Absolutely. I wouldn't be surprised if SEAL Team 6 watched,
Part of it.
John Scorcher, he's in the military. He watches it.
Nice.
Is he Brony?
Yep.
How much?
Well, if you ask him for a bro hoof, he will shoot you, so...
Ouch.
Ow!
Ouch.
Sounds like a supergiant robot.
He counts as a brony, but he doesn't want to be called one.
Because
That's
of
because
the
it's
label.
associated with
understand.
bad things. I mean,
Yeah, actually, I
kind
don't
of like
mind.
the Homestuck fandom.
Homestuck.
Homestuck?
Okay, from now on, someone in this fandom, this is a mod declaration, a brony who does not want to be called a brony or associated with the fandom in any way is called an SGR, short for Supergiant Robot.
Well, I won't blame him, because the military, there are some soldiers in the military that, well, have some animosity towards it, particularly in ways that some youth service... Well, what recently during that BronyCon when Tower Strong basically treated to a group of soldiers, they violate some uniform violation by patching some rainbow dash or the key marks to uniforms in violation of the uniform.
They violated their uniform in order to put rainbow dash.
Uniform.
Okay, I got my food. Okay, what's the conversation gone into now?
Anyway, back to convo.
do we think this sort of phenomenon is going to get worse? Because I think it probably will.
What phenomenon are we talking
Probably.
about?
When season 4, because I know like one of the fanfics I was writing, and they like someone posted a comment saying, "Oh, I wonder what Discord's going to do about that." And I was thinking, well, he's not around in my fic. Like, why would they expect it? And are people going to expect Discord to kind of show up? Is because it could be a thing that Discord being a good guy could eliminate like a lot of threats. Like, he's one of the most magical beings that we've seen
However,
in the
being
entire
depicted,
show. He's on their side.
in our fanfiction,
And so-
we haven't really seen him actually. Yes, he did turn to clouds to chocolate rain and all that, but as a threat, Discord hasn't really. We don't know that he has murdered anyone, but the fandom has made a pass for that. That he is generally probably very chaotic evil, such as doing something, turning flutter bunnies and changelings or what have you. You know, you get the gist.
Yeah, I see what you mean.
Borrow, that comment you made about America, I'd like to know what you 100% mean by that.
Be specific. Which one?
The comment about where he said, "Oh, America's bloated and needs something to take its anger out on."
Oh, we
Yo,
are.
Yada, your mic's like perma on.
Yada.
Ouch.
Yada.
Just mute him.
Gonna temporarily mute you, bro.
User left your channel.
He left.
What just happened?
He's had some problems using the chat before.
Must be some connection problem with his mic. Computer software, perhaps?
Apparently, wasn't he speaking to Cosmic and he said he doesn't think he has a mic, but we're obviously still getting an audio feed from him, or something like that.
Well, he may just have it, instead of his microphone, actually his sound.
It could be his sound cards on the fridge, perhaps, or something concerning software-wise. I wouldn't know, but that's my assumption.
Probably a dinosaur of a computer.
Hmm.
Wait.
Nice.
Wow.
Is that
But anyway, back...
Is that a soundbite? Sorry. Was that a soundbite from Wordsmith?
Yes.
Then why don't you speak? Unless it's...
She's like Bumblebee from Transformers. She has radio clips.
I've been in here. I should really leave so I can actually write.
I should do that too, but I'm not.
I should too.
I'm right, and I just got you guys in the background.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's kind of hard to concentrate though.
It's just random inspiration.
Try to talk and write at the same time.
Yeah, I've actually had this chat open during my play during Red Orchestra Rising Storm, and your guys' chatter just, I don't know how much it killed me so many times. When I'm trying to listen for enemy footsteps, you just kept talking, and then BAM! Some guy just stabbed me in the back with his bayonet and I die. It really hurts.
Yeah,
but
I think Battlefield 1942 is free on work, and if anyone wants to set up a server,
True.
Battlefield
1942 is still a good game. I mean, it's open, far more open than most games these days.
What is?
Battlefield 1942. Have you seen the maps?
Nope.
They're huge.
even by today's standards.
Yep. And also, it didn't give two shits about logic. You could ride on the wings of a plane while it was flying.
Yeah, what I'd always like to do in, Battlefield 1942 is that I used to play a lot of games of Wasteland Gunner, a friend of mine, that's also on offer, and I remember this one time, I confused the hell out of him by, abandoning out of my plane. Because I was playing as the Japanese, I abandoned out of my plane, and as I was parachuting down, I tried to, gun him down as I was descending. It really creeped him out.
Why so?
So I just comic out. Because he didn't know where I was coming from. He just saw the plane. And I was just gently floating down, just shooting
Didn't he see your gigantic parachute?
in the face.
I think I should stop recording now because we are no longer on the topic.
Well, getting back on topic.
What topic?
I think Barrow was
Canon
about
versus
to say something.
The Canon versus Fanon.
Well,
Delta asked me something about my comment about America I made earlier.
Yes.
Alright, let's get back to it.
You were wondering about it?
Yes.
What comment and why were you interested? Pretty much I said America right now is crazy and bloated.
Fat,
in World
bloated,
War II,
corrupt, and
we,
it gives a...
Let's not go too far. In World War II, America was described as the sleeping giant. Well, I believe in this day and age the giant is kind of bloated and crazy. There's just so much uncertainty, so many problems, so much fear in our world, in the United States especially. Not that It hasn't gone on in other places as well, but I see it most in the U.S. We can't really decide what to focus on. And because of that, we're not going to accomplish much. Yes,
Yes, the media
absolutely
sucks in America.
Bingo. I'm a part of it, so
What's
I
it
know.
like other places
In
then?
Britain and the UK, I hear that they hate the European with a bloody passion. From what I heard, the European Union, well, wrecked their economy. So
They did.
To-
The
to-
European
to-
Union economy is right. Now, let's just get back to the Canon versus Fanon, if there's any more to discuss.
yes. Let's get back to it.
Yeah, what do people think about like going onwards after season 3? Concepts like Unicorn, Twilight, Evil Discord,
Alicorn.
things like that. Are we gonna see them anymore, or people just
Well,
What?
Say
Say
what?
what?
forget
it seems
them?
that so far we seem to be in the safe and clear. I do see Alicorn, well, Unicorn Twilight, but as for any Alicorn Twilights, well, anything that becoming original without the Ascension episode, I doubt we're going to be seeing any more Twilight, Twilicorn fix without the canon episode these days after that episode. Because before that,
I'd agree.
the fandom came up with the concepts. Well, we first executed our concept ourselves. False may have created the concept first, but we were the ones that executed it first.
Most people, a good portion of the fandom doesn't like the Alicorn Twilight, but I personally have no problem with it.
I think it's
I don't
take it.
Nor do I.
The Twilicorn.
Well, like some people think. I'm not sure what you guys think, but some people believe that Twilight instantly gained immortality with her wings and whatnot.
No,
I
that's
don't think so. No. Here, let me explain that. I don't think she gained immortality along with it. She's just an alicorn. We don't know if she's immortal.
But that's what most of the fandom thinks.
McCarthy made the comment about saying, Twilight will not outlive her friends. That was a Twitter post from McCarthy. But people are taking that as, does that mean that her friends are going to become alicorns? Does that mean that
No.
Personally,
or something like that? I don't know, because my headcanon is at the moment that Twilight isn't immortal, but I have a fic where she is. Like it almost goes against my own headcanon, but you know.
Okay, personally, with her outliving them or whatever that was. Personally, the elements of harmony are gonna keep the others alive if Twilight is immortal.
True to that.
Well,
I mean, there's different...
Are you sure they wouldn't just pass on to a new user?
Well, no, without the elements of harmony,
Spike is
Twilight...
best Rainbow Dash.
No, without
What? Spike hits that Rainbow Dash.
Congratulations, Spike. You're the new Rainbow Dash.
Let's go.
I'm surprised no one's done anything with that.
Why not?
Well, there's...
I mean, Spike is pretty loyal.
Pretty much.
Yeah. Spike is like the most level-headed character in the entire series. Come on,
The
what has he
sanest
done that was
character.
insane?
Tom is honesty, obviously.
He's the same one in the
I
group.
know that there are a few, like, different fics where Spike goes off on his own and has an adventure,
Spike on strike.
which is kinda cool.
I was debating reading that. I don't know. What are your thoughts? The whole Spike on strike.
I think someone upvoted it using alternate accounts.
Really? That's terrible. I was actually thinking about.
Wasn't that...
I was thinking about making a fic where instead of the main six are kind of the center with the human and Equestria route, why not Spike and go through with the human kind of making Spike his kid brother thing and them kind of growing up together?
I would read that.
Yeah, I'm actually doing something like that for my more recent fic.
Oh my gosh, I keep getting pulled out of my room like every 2 minutes.
Why?
I'm basically gonna do that for my next fic. My fic.
My next fic.
Sorry.
Okay, so what have I missed?
Basically, the idea that I'm going to be using is that the human infant... The idea I'm using is that a human infant basically lands in Equestria and is taken in by the royal family since nobody really knows what he is. so they just take him in so they can protect him. And
User
he
joined your
basically
channel.
grows
User
up to
entered
become a
your
soldier,
channel.
but because he doesn't really know how to be he doesn't really know how to be a person. He tries to have fun during the graduation ceremony, and it ends up being very terrible for him.
Hey, Yada,
So,
top
in light
left
of
corner,
this,
there's a picture of a
Princess
mic and an X.
Celestia
Click that.
essentially,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah,
The
we
arcade
can still hear
Princess
you.
Celestia asks the human to
Just temporarily mute him.
go and wander the earth.
¿Cómo
Celestia
estás?
basically tasks him with wandering the earth, so she has Spike go along with him because he has a lot of experience in
Thanks,
like
Yada.
wandering the world, and he has a lot of socialization things. And it's basically kind of like a motley group of people join him later on, which and it just goes crazy from there.
I like that idea.
I think it's already been done though by one person at least. Not very executed very well, but I think it's already been done at least once.
Well, if it hasn't been executed
Well-
well, that's only your inclination.
Yeah.
That's only incentive to execute it your way. And
Yeah.
my own idea for a human being raised by a drunk pony couple, unable to have children, finds a human baby behind an IHOP.
And I
IHOP. Okay, that's just a
Yo, is Barry Punch
word?
gonna be the mom?
It's a comedy. That's why it has to be random.
Oh god.
Random
And they
comedy.
console their... It's even funnier when they go over the concept with their son. You came to us in the most magical way possible, son. We
Behind
found
an
you
IHOP.
behind an IHOP.
Yeah, and
It's all
what I'm
right,
gonna
though. You
do
weren't
is-
on the menu. We checked. They serve pancakes,
Oh my
not humans.
God.
Yeah,
Before or after
as
they...
like as the story goes on, like he and Spike form like a party of motley characters. Like there's a pyromantic earth pony, there's a jackass reverend,
Is he a
there's
jackass?
a thieving. Yeah, he's literally a jackass.
Awesome. I like that.
There's a thief, there's a diamond dog thief, and there is a unicorn sniper. And they basically
Sniper!
wander the earth and eventually get.
Boom headshot.
They eventually
I like
get
this idea.
embroiled in this plot of this cult of necromancers is trying to essentially bring an ancient evil from primordial pony times into Equestria to try to take it into a field of black
Is it the
death
smooze?
by way of summoning Grogar.
And how is this related to the Canon versus Fanon debate, pray tell?
Oh, I think perhaps it's moved on to ideas.
Because I like the fanon that, like, each of the generations of My Little Pony are intrinsically linked as, like, eras.
Well,
At about like
I've seen it done before.
5 or 10 minutes, I'm gonna get going. So
Here's one for the Canon versus Fanon thing. Do we think it's worth or perhaps necessary to include, say, a note in the description or the fic saying this adheres to, take season 2 canon?
Well,
I think it's
that should be
pretty
unnecessary.
necessary because you're letting people know where your
They're coming
ideas
from, so to
are
speak.
lie. You're letting them know
Yeah, and
that this is where I have this take place.
I've actually written in somewhat subpar fic myself, sort of in self-insert, if you will.
All first
Basically,
fix
I think we're dealing with that very issue, or at least trying to, and dealing with, well, how the rest of the fandom, in a way, seems to be mocking those who that's just stay loyal to the canon. The rest of the canon be damned.
Yeah.
Your idea still exists, Sam.
Well,
Yes,
Yes.
actually, I think
Listen to
I think if
Burrow
you-
when he speaks. Listen to Burrow. He's got a point. Your idea still exists. Don't just because canon comes along and you think your
Takes a shit
idea
on it.
is like rendered irrelevant because of what is canon. It shouldn't stop you from putting that idea down on paper.
Go
Trust me, I
beyond
think-
it, sir. Go beyond
Because the-
canon
It's just
in
the
any
inspiration,
form.
you know.
I think
the
that-
continuation of...
You don't have to stick to canon. You don't have to.
Yeah,
Perhaps
but every
not,
plot.
but the rest of the
It's
fandom
just
seems-
preferred. It's just preferred that you stick to canon. It's
That's
not a
not
have.
possible.
But I think
Yeah,
that
stick
if
to it
you
as
have
much as you can, but you don't have to stick with it all the way.
but I think that if you have the note saying, for example, oh, this adheres to season 2 canon, then people really don't have. They shouldn't have an issue if they know from the beginning that
No
this
one
is
will
the canon.
complain
Then
about
so
notes
But
being
nobody
spoiled.
will pay
so-
attention to those notes, though. Hardly,
And
very small
until
number
that's
actually
like
pay
they said,
attention to that.
changed it, and
Unless
like
you
that every
specifically draw attention to it.
and
That's
look
the
at
only way
past
they'll
Sims.
notice if you like bold inflate it and make it really big so that they can see it.
Really?
And I mean, look at
Even
past
then,
Sims
you
for-
can't guarantee. Sam, this is just what you have to do. Take it like being a brony. You didn't care if other people thought less of you for liking My Little Pony. Don't care if they think less of you for going against canon. Say, fuck this world. This is my idea, and if it contradicts
You
yours,
can
well,
go fuck
too
yourself.
fucking bad.
Exactly. Come on.
Let me get this straight. All I have to do is fuck you, fuck your mother, fuck your father, fuck your friends, fuck your dog, fuck your house, fuck your
You have,
maybe
fuck
not
your
that.
papers,
you have to
fuck
fuck
your
a
dog.
lot of people.
I will
Yes.
do what I please.
Sam, you have to fuck a lot of people if you want to get
Oh
recognized.
my.
I give you an applause for that, man.
No, this is just as what you say to anyone who comments saying, this goes against canon, this doesn't happen. If someone comments on your story, comment back just one thing. This is my idea. There are many like it, but this one is mine.
It's fanfic. Are you expecting canon?
Yes.
Most
People expect canon from fanfiction. That is the hilarious part about it all. That is the irony. People expect 100% canon from fanfiction.
If that were it,
But then
it's
all the
been
fiction are
novelized.
like.
All
that's
fan
also
fiction
the-
will be novelized version of the episodes. There wouldn't be any fan in it. Just novelized versions, no less.
I don't quite like the assumption that every brony out there has watched every single episode up to the exact point where that's like the most recent out there, and
Nope.
it seems the assumption that every single brony is gonna do that. Is
User
gonna watch every
disconnected from
single
your
episode.
channel.
Like Barrows.
That's bullshit. Barrow
Yeah,
hasn't
exactly.
seen any episodes.
Exactly, and
Yo,
it's the
yeah.
assumption that it's the assumption that people have always.
Okay, I'm gonna get going. I'll probably see you guys later.
Okay.
All right.
I'll stop recording now.
Later, Delta.
Cool.
See ya.
Following the Delta.
User